Hello, my name is Gerhard from Einherjer, and you're listening to Brutally Delicious Podcasts.
Hey, did you know we're listening to the Brutally Delicious Podcast with Bruce and Riina?
Hey, man.
Okay, good. Hi, man.
Haven't seen you in a long time.
It's a very long time now. Were you at the cruise last time?
Yeah, I was there last time. We spent a lot of time hanging with campfire.
Yeah.
Yep.
I look forward to that again someday.
In that little bar that you guys always hang out at by the
yeah.
Anyway, that's my partner Riina.
Hello, Riina.
Hey, Gerhard. It's nice to meet you. How are you doing?
Doing good. Yeah.
Cool.
You know, in spite of the circumstances, really good actually.
Yeah.
Okay. So would you say
the last show I've been to may have been like you guys or one of those nights there on the boat? I haven't been to anything since then. You?
Not really. That's actually the last gig we had as well on the boat. Well, except for last weekend, we actually had 2 gigs.
Really?
This weekend, actually, yeah.
With actual people and.
Yeah, with actual people.
How did they go?
Really good, actually. You know, it's we had a release date, you know, on last Friday, and we have been planning this, you know, this release party kind of gig for quite some time now.
Right.
So you know, Frode, you know, the vocalist, he works at the venue here. It's more like a theater venue. And, you know, it's like a 550-ish people venue. So at the time, we were allowed 200 people in there, actually, because it's a seated venue.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that was nice, actually. But, you know, 1 week before the gig, we got new rules. So now it's suddenly only 100. So we had to play Friday and Saturday, actually.
And everybody's
So that's fine. Everybody's sitting, you know, with a seat in between and everything, you know, it's,
But still, what was it like finally getting back on stage after a little more than a year, right?
It was great, actually. It was surprisingly little awkward, you know. I thought it would be worse, you know, with that big place with only 100 people in it.
Mm-hmm.
But at least it was a gig, you know, and strange as it is, that's the best we can do right now.
Right.
I mean, most places, you know, it was like 10 people or 5 even, you know.
Wow.
Here, you know, pubs and stuff like that. It's like, so this was the only place we could actually play with some dignity.
Right.
Yeah. That was nice. I mean, we were all in anyway, so yeah.
Yeah, and it's music.
We don't care.
Playing and
it's music, and at least those 200 people, they got to go to a show and they got to get drunk, and that's
right.
That's all we can ask right now, you know.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it was actually really fun. So now, what will happen, you know, when the next gig will be, impossible to say.
Yeah. Riina?
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, it kind of sucks, doesn't it? But I'm so incredibly jealous that you guys got to do that and you have that venue. And you're in Norway, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Like I'm in Finland.
You're in Finland, okay? Yeah.
I'm in Finland. So, like, you know, that you're a neighboring country. So I've been like keeping some tabs on what goes on with your Corona stuff and so on. And it's so incredibly annoying with the rules changing all the time. Like here in Finland,
very confusing.
It's extremely confusing. It's so confusing. We just have our like health ministry like write a new law that basically was intended to shut down all the restaurants, shut down all the gyms, you know, like just nobody go there. Everything needs to shut down. And then the authority or the officials who then oversee the laws, you know, in practice, then had their own interpretation of the law and told everybody that you can still stay open if you're just like less than 10 people. in the same space at the same time. Now they're just like, fighting each other over what is right. And then we have like the venues and the restaurants and the pubs and everybody, like all the entrepreneurs are just suffering, and the industries, many industries, not just restaurants, but also the events and so on, are just waiting for something rational to happen, something that is not under interpretation, that is clear, and we know something. Of course, this is a new situation for everybody. I know mistakes are going to be made. We're human, but still, oh, come on. But you guys had like total lockdowns at some point, right? With restaurants and stuff.
We had total lockdowns with everything from time to time, actually, because it's very much up and down, Suddenly we get three new infected in one city, and people panic, and there's a lockdown, new rules and everything like that. So it's very difficult to keep tabs on, and it's a lot of talk about this these days in Norway, because Oslo, for example, are heavily affected by this crap. So the whole rest of the country needs to follow sort of the national rules, even though maybe in my city there's no problem really. So it's very annoying, and I see that they have to do it like that because they can make rules for each little community around the country, but it's extremely confusing, and you never know. You sort of you have to Google it. What are the rules this week?
Today.
So
but you said, you said that you are personally doing extremely well, even considering the circumstances. So does that mean that you're a bit of a hermit, like that you? Not...
I wouldn't go to visit people anyway. I like my own company, so I go to work every day. I actually been to work every single day, or except weekends, but every day since this stuff started. And I OD on people at work. So when I come home, I like to be alone.
Yeah.
The only thing I miss, so to speak, is to, go and have some beers with my friends.
Yeah.
And that's not really possible. I mean, we have done so as well, but you sort of have to choose the people, which is not nice, because you're only allowed 5 people, and sorry, you can't come today, so so we rather skip it, entirely instead, so it's I don't know, it's not cool,
right?
No,
it's not cool at all, actually.
No, not cool at all. But let's talk about Northstar. Now that it's out, what was it like trying to write and put this beast out during this whole nonsense? I mean, obviously it was different, right?
Yeah, it was different, but to be honest, I wouldn't say it was different in a bad way, because we actually had suddenly a lot of time on our hands. Everything else was cancelled. We didn't have to worry about gigs or anything like that. So yeah, we got more time actually to concentrate on the album, and even because of this pandemic, it was also postponed. I'm sorry, it's a bit dark in here, but I always sit in the dark. So, but
me too. Dude.
No, usually I have an empty Word document lighting up my room here. So because of the pandemic, this also got postponed like 4 months. It was supposed to be out in October last year, and now it was postponed until late February. So suddenly we had a lot of time to actually work on the album, experiment, try out new stuff, and sort of perfect it, if you like. So yeah, it's been actually a good thing for us,
As far as promotion and stuff, though, it's got to be a tad bit different, right? Because you're not doing in-stores and you're not doing any kind of meet and greets or any of that sort of crap, right?
Yeah, we don't do anything like that. So it's stuff like this, interviews. Interviews. Basically, that's what we do,
right?
And we don't know what else we can do. I mean, we had this gig here, but that's more like, I don't know. It's not promotion. It's more like an event, just to, okay, this is the day, album is out,
right.
just to market, so.
Are you thinking about any sort of live streams down the line? I know a lot of bands are doing that sort of stuff, or is that not on the cards?
It's we discussed this, at least me and Frode, and I think the answer is no, to be honest. At least for now, it depends on if we get the COVID-20, COVID-21, and whatever. It depends on how long this drags out. But we thought that we don't need the money. We have jobs, so
right.
We're not totally reliant on this band. And I understand why people simply have to do it because of that. But we don't really need it because of the money, at least. I mean, we could do it sort of to make the fans happy, but still, I think we just want to make, wait until things are fun again.
Yeah.
It's not the same to stand in a room in front of a camera, and you don't get any energy. The audience don't get any energy from us. I mean, it's. I think there are many live YouTube videos people can watch. I mean, I think that's the same thing. So at least for now, the answer is a resounding no.
Riina?
Yeah, that's, I get it. Like you said that you guys have jobs. That's like interesting always to find out what people do for actual money. I have a day job too. I'm a heavy metal band, and it's not something that will pay my bills. But so what do you do?
I work at a shop, actually. I have sort of undecided in my role in this yet. Since I've been to work every day, I'm either a key personnel or I'm expendable.
Right.
So yeah.
Right.
I work at a shop that delivers, infrastructure goods for the local community, water, electricity, stuff like that. So I need to go to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my real world, I am a police dispatcher, so I'm essential as well, I guess. So I'm doing the same sort of thing every day. Not missing. Got to be there.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So, and I'm glad actually, because things could get worse. I mean, there's a lot of people that suddenly are fresh out of a job.
Oh yeah.
So I'm happy about it.
So go ahead.
I find that to be a very smart move. Because a lot of people in the let's say a lot of people who are in bands also want to work then with events or music in some way, which
Yes.
I get. But,
I understand.
situation like this, it's so much better to not be completely reliant on this one bubble of things.
It's like you're collecting all your eggs in one basket. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So,
Touché.
yeah.
So jumping back to Northstar again, I've listened to it a few times prepping for this and however we go, but are there any tracks in there that are personal favorites or have good stories behind them? Because I'm going to tell you, listening through, Stars sticks out to me as the banger that is my favorite on the record.
Yeah. And I just want to say something before I mention the song, but because first of all, it's really difficult for me to actually pick any favorites, because we've been working
and they're
with all of them
babies.
for so long. Yes, exactly. And at least now, this early in the process, the album is just released. And, to me, it's, that album just means a lot of work.
Yeah.
So I need to sort of put it behind me a little bit. Maybe in 5 years, I have one personal favorite.
Right.
But, it's easier to say that about older albums, when they're sort of settled, sort of listen to it for years. That being said, I also want to pull out that song, Stars, mainly because normally when we write music, we sort of sit around each mound, and just create riffs and sort of put some sketch together and send it back and forth. Sort of, for example, me, I write the complete song alone. Or Frode does the same, Then we just sort of take it from there. But Stars was written by me and Frode in the studio. And that sort of, I think that is pretty rare for us. We never jam out a song.
Right.
So I like it when that happens. We just go to the studio with a few ideas, basically. And, we make the song in an evening, which is great. And when I listen to the original ideas now and actually how the song turned out, I just almost can't believe it happened in the first place. Yeah.
I think that's that sort of makes it more organic though, right? I mean, that's kind of the way people used to write, right? Everybody getting in a room and writing.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think it makes a difference in the end.
Yes, because I think it's more, unpredictable when we sort of pan out a song that fast and just go with the flow, because that's what I think happened actually. And that's why it's so rare, because you sit down in the studio with some ideas and both of us needs to be in some kind of creative mode to even create a good song. We've tried that before and, nothing happened.
Right.
So for that to happen, it is really rare. And I think when it happens, the outcome might be more original than, the other stuff that you sit home and grind at for weeks and months, maybe. Yeah.
That makes sense.
So, yeah.
So a magical moment, one could say.
Yeah, exactly. It was. And that also happened on the previous album. Mine Våpen, Mine Spor. That's also that kind of song that was sort of created in the studio by me and Frode. So we should try it more. It's not easy. Yeah.
Do you find it difficult? And this is I don't know how many records now. You've been around for quite a long time. Do you find it difficult, not necessarily coming up with new ideas, but not writing the same record? Does that make sense? That makes sense, yes. But I don't find it that difficult. I mean, excuse me. From, we had a break, right, from 2003 or something until 2008. And when we started back up in 2008, we had big issues about which way to go, you know what I mean? It was an extreme amount of frustration in the studio because we were sort of, the last album we did was Blot. Right.
And we sort of had a lot of material left from that period, and sort of tried to implement that into the new music. And then it simply didn't work at all, Some people wanted to strip it from keyboards and, make it simpler, and, we didn't agree at all, basically.
Right.
So what we did, we just threw everything away and sort of started from scratch. Okay, we throw everything away. We start making brand new music, completely new Einherjer, like we wanted to do, And I think also that break we had where we sort of traveled a bit around with that thrash metal band, Battered.
Right. Also
sort of tuned us a little bit in on this new way of writing, which is a lot more riff-based metal instead of complete arrangement-based stuff that we were used to before. And I think from that decision, I think we sort of found the recipe for what we want to do. Or the path, if you like,
right,
that we want to follow. And I think even if we sort of follow the same base recipe, there's still progression in our music, I think the point is to just strive to make better songs all the time, right. Within the same framework.
Sure.
That's what we're trying to do. I think the next album as well will probably be based on the same, style as we're doing now, only, better songs.
Right.
That's the key. I mean, it's not, that's the difficult part, because you can't say you have 8 songs on each album. Those 8 new songs cannot always be better than everything you did in the past. That's just impossible, and at least to fans, it's completely impossible. So we just want to sort of at least sit with the feeling that this album is the strongest so far.
Right.
All in all, so
just
that's the
improvement. Right.
Yes, exactly. And I don't know what happens when we write music. It's I think most of the songs just get their own identity, and I think this album and the previous album are kind of different within the same framework.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay. I'm good. Riina, you got anything else?
No, that's really interesting. And I like the way you think, because you can definitely have like a distinctive sound and still not make the same record over and over again. And I think that's what you're, going for, that there's no need to sort of change the base setting, so to speak.
No, exactly.
If it works,
have
then
a good recipe. I mean, why change it?
Right. Yeah. I also agree with that. I'll leave you with an anecdote from like my band's keyboard player, Sami Bowman, once said a very wise thing, I think, which was that it is the sign of an excellent band that in their catalog there's like complete gold and then absolute shit, because it says that, that they are not afraid to just explore and evolve and expand what they're doing, and that's where the magic happens. Because if you're just like doing this and have like a very narrow conception of your own music and music in general, maybe, or the genre that you're in or whatever, I think you're cutting off the wings of your creativity. So what you guys are doing
exactly, and I think even though we have the sort of I'm just gonna put on my Word document again. Well, it's a little bit better, but I think even though we sort of have the same recipe, everything is still allowed in our music. It's not like it's not really rigid.
Right.
Everything is allowed. We can sort of make a complete acoustic song or something.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's, and maybe we change our minds next month. Maybe next album will be completely different. But I think we found a good path now.
I think so too.
Yeah. You took some influences from another band and how they write, and this is like all very open-minded and great, and like I applaud you guys for that. And the album is really, also wanted to say that.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, love it. So good.
I love it.
Sometimes you fall out a little bit, so sorry.
Oh no.
Yeah, it works in a stupid way that if Bruce now cuts me off, then there's not going to be 2 voices, just the one.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Wait a second, you're blaming me?
Absolutely, for everything.
Gerhard, that's all I've got really. Record's out on the February 26th, so it's already out. Anybody listening can grab it. Awesome, my friend. Thank you for taking the time. Good luck with the record.
No problem.
And stay safe. And maybe I'll see you next year.
You too. Hopefully, next January, February, maybe.
I'm looking forward to it.
With a pina colada.
You got it, man. In that little bar, that little alcove.
Yes.
Stop talking about the boat. Everybody's been on the boat but me. It's not
get Riina on the boat.
Well, it'll be your turn one day.
Yep.
God, I hope so. I hope to meet you there too. But hey, dude, you have a good night, and hopefully
you too.
We
both of you.
Be well, my friend. Thanks.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ever wonder what a punch from Elton John feels like?
Or how you'd cope with having turned down the chance to be in Nirvana?
Or what signal Keith Richards gives when he wants you to get the hell out of his hotel room?
Fans of Too Much Effing Perspective don't have to wonder, because they've heard these exact stories and a jillion others on our podcast. I'm Alex Hoffman, former tour manager for Radiohead.
And I'm musician and comedy writer Alan Keller. On the TMEP show, we get guests like Nancy Wilson from Heart, Jeremiah Freites from the Lumineers, and Modern Family's Julie Bowen to tell us things they may have only shared with their therapist, clergy, or a TMZ stringer.
So join us on Too Much Effing Perspective. That's EFFING Perspective. The only podcast you crank up to 11.